What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the number one comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight. This is season 14, episode 12. And for those who are new to my channel, as far as Married at First Sight, I do couple by couple instead of maybe scene by scene breakdown. And right now, I'm on the second installment, which is Michael and Jasmina. And before I get started, for those who are new to my channel, this channel is the home of the number one commenter. And what that means is I'm all about the comments. I don't get into the likes, I don't get into the subscriptions. What I do and what I do need is your comments. Because again, that gives me the energy that I need to keep on going and doing this. This is why I do this. I got my own platform and it's all about the comments. So feel free. Feel free to get down in those comments and abide by the channel's motto. Say what you say. You want to talk about how long Michael head is or how mean Jasmina is? Get into them comments. This is the place to do it. It's never a bad time to comment, and because over here we don't really we like a difference of opinions. We don't need an echo chamber. We need to hear what you say. That's what makes us all different. We're unique. We feel differently. We think differently, and in some cases, a lot of us agree, and sometimes we don't, and that's okay too. Just keep it respectful, because over here, this is the Dub fam. We're a community. We support each other, and we just have a good time. So let me go ahead and get into the review. We see Michael and Jasmina. They're having a guest over. Who's that guest? That's Katina. And I don't. It looks like Katina got into a fight with Elijah, so she wants to, I guess, give details about what's going on about the app situation with her and Elijah. And really, Katina came to see Jasmina, but little Michael wants to tag along and I guess show his support and offer his perspective. And Michael really gives his perspective, and he was pretty much saying that Elijah Wan is like such an emotional guy, and he can tell like his judgment is clouded with that emotion, and when he's speaking in that way, like logic is just gone out the window, and pretty much Jasmina jumps on the Isaac train and just letting Katina know that um yeah, we know he's that type of guy that gets emotion, but no, it's not okay. It's not okay because that's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like Jasmina is doing what his friends, Pastor Cal, anybody does. They kind of push Katina right back on into that thing where, like, instead of saying, you know what, this man is mistreating you, you need to really think about if that's how you want to live or you're okay with him treating you like that because that's what it's going to be. He ain't going to change. But they just want to push her back into it. And I was thinking like, while Jasmina was talking, that talk about like, just kind of absorb it and take it because that's what he is. But it's not okay. Jasmina wouldn't take a large one for 2 seconds. They wouldn't even got to the honeymoon if she got a taste of him talking crazy to her like that in any kind of way. Because you can't say nothing to Jasmina. It's always the tone. So I mean, it's a great thing because it's a defense mechanism. You can't say anything to her. You're talking in a tone, so we could never get to that place where Isaac will be verbally abusing her. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Just like he just need to, she just need to go on back, take the abuse, and she'll be all right. So Michael, the life coach, he goes to Olajuwon and Katina's apartment, and we see Olajuwon there, and he look all out of it because I think he went to the roof with Lindsay or by himself to have one of them smoke sessions because his eyes glossed up, bloodshot red. And the thing is, I see Michael. He really asserts himself, like when he is talking about somebody else's relationship, like he really gets it in, get to the meat. He want to give like the best advice, and he actually spoke to Olajuwon and asked him like, well, hey, like, well, do you want to talk about it? And Olajuwon act like he didn't hear him, And Michael said it again, more firm, like, "Do you want to talk about it?" I'm like, "All right, go ahead, Michael." He get a large one together, and he finally answered. But I noticed he did that too with Katina because he was really pushing the envelope about, I guess, if you're focusing so much on the bad. Did Olajuwon say that it was done? Katina did the same thing. She ignored him, and Lord Michael did it again. He's like, "I said, did he say it was done?" And she's like, "No, he didn't say that." Like, because she wasn't focused on that. But I noticed that he do that. Maybe that's his. That maybe that's Michael Strong's suit. He can be a counselor after he counseled himself, all that hurt and raw baggage and all that stuff. Anyway, so I would say Michael's trying to help Olajuwon realize what's going on, but he kind of see that it's like a lost hope. But he lets Olajuwon know that, Katina says that like she forgot about it, was just an accident with the app. And Olajuwon's like, "Man, I ain't buying that," and he just like looks at Katina at a different light. So it's really going, his Michael's advice is really going on deaf ears. And now in the next scene, I see why Michael asks for advice all the time, because when you leave him to um, his own thoughts or his own reasoning, it just don't go right. So I guess he's trying to, let's say, bond or woo Jasmina by eating Mr. Feeney's, one of his dog cookies. Jasmina's dog's name Mr. Feeney. And Jasmina, she don't think it's funny. She think it's like she grossed out by it. And I'm thinking, Mike, you trying to get closer to her? You trying to get some hugs and kisses? She not gonna she's not gonna kiss you after you ate a dog cookie. It's made for dogs. You need to do that in your own time or whatever. But he don't know. Poor Mike, he don't know no better. He should have asked his sister or something. Should I eat a dog cookie in front of her to impress her? Because he needs help with everything. So we see Michael and Jasmine. They're eating their usual takeout, and the food actually looked really good. It's some type of chicken or something. And I listened to little, like I said, I listened to little details, and I kind of got a glimpse in like what Jasmine kind of really does. She had mentioned that like throughout her day, she was saying that her job is relocating, and I'm thinking like she must not be like I'm not knocking her, but she must not be like a true, let's say, elementary teacher. She must be like a daycare teacher. Not that that's not an important job, but we really don't know much about Jasmine, and she doesn't give much. She just listens to Michael and pats him on his shoulder or whatever. But other than like from the beginning of the show, like telling her history of way her family grew up, what do we really know about her? And what we also found out is that Jasmina doesn't know how to drive, and I was shocked. That's kind of alarming. We're missing some of these life skills. These women are missing, and I'm thinking like she's 30 years old. She don't know how to drive. Now, like back in the day, I've heard or um, heard about or seen some older women just never learn how to drive. They could be 60 years old and just never been behind the wheel of a car. But like back in the day, cars were limited. They didn't have like everybody didn't have two and three cars, and people could walk or catch the bus or whatever, and that was a normal thing. But right now, like everybody got a car. A 15-year-old got a car, and they not even old enough to drive. But yeah, so that was really surprising. But Michael seems like he's a good sport about it because he's going to try to teach her how to drive. And Jasmina said pretty much she never learned how to drive because she's been like in a couple of car accidents. And I get that. That could be a phobia because those are like life and death situations. That's like people don't realize like we do it all the time, but driving a car is one of the most dangerous things you could do. Accidents, I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of people who die every year behind car accidents, drunk driving incidents, all kind of things. It's the thing. You're safe. The statistics show it's safer to fly on a plane than driving a car. And I don't like planes at all, but I will fly on them. But anyway, Michaels, he's like doing a little quiz with her, like she's almost taking the driving test, and she's doing pretty good. But we're gonna really see like what what that looks like or whatever. So um Michael actually took her driving, and Jasmina acts like a 16-year-old who just just getting new behind the wheel, and that does take some patience to do, like to really teach a person how to drive or even do something that they've never done. You have to have extreme patience to be that teacher, and I don't know if I could have done that because Michael was holding on and everything because he should be nervous because you got to listen to what people say. Um, Michael said, "I need you to step on the gas," and she said, "Where's what is that?" Like, what? Did you just say that? Like, stop the car, stop the car. We done with the driver's lesson. But Jasmina, she didn't do good. She riding off cones, but it looked like Michael had made the spaces too small or whatever. But it looked like they had a fun and good time, and I guess that's what we need to see out them enjoying each other. But we've yet to see like romance. Just like I got on the last video, like Elijah is saying like he hasn't really brought anything for Jasmina. I don't count that last thing where people are just oohing on like, oh, Michael set up this romantic setup for Jasmine and all that. I mean, Mace did it. So how romantic is Michael? I don't get it because like the gifts that he really bought for Jasmine, he bought for Mr. Feeney. So, but okay, when do we get to the wooing part? And not that she's gonna be open to it or receptive, but you got 8 weeks. You got to try if that's something you want to do. And we know Michael wants to do that. When is he gonna get another woman that looks like Jasmine? Because looks on everything, but yeah, she don't even look good enough to go through all of that. Like what she doing, but she seems to be softening up. But um, it comes off like an act. So we see Michael. He's meeting with his the only sister that seems to want to participate in the maths um situation, and they meet at a bar, and they catch up about like what's going on with Michael in the marriage, and he wanted to know from his sister like what did she think of like their interaction at the housewarming. And the sister seemed like, oh yeah, y'all was pretty much bond, and he was getting little touches, and then they flashed back and looked like Jasmine was like uncomfortable. He was like grabbing her by her waist. It didn't look it didn't look like it was received well. And Michael explains that like the communication has gotten lot better. And I noticed that Michael has like really stepped up in the communication department. But as far as what he said, like the physical part of the relationship, it's like really at a standstill. There's no affection, no hugging, kissing. It's just non-existent. And I would say it's more so like it's just like fun and it's just like friends. But Michael's pretty much saying that they only pretty much got like 4 weeks left, and if any part of their marriage is at a like a it says like a standstill or lacking, there's no way that he can say yes on decision day. And I totally agree with him because at that point, it's pretty much going to be that way, or they're gonna have to build from that. I don't think Jasmine is gonna like come around later if she doesn't want to hug or kiss him or be close to him like that. I really don't believe they're sleeping in the same bed. I think it's just for the show, but who knows? And Jasmine, she actually FaceTimes her mom, and just to give her an update of like what's going on with Michael. She's acting a little funny because the mother wants to know like how's marriage, like what are the pros and cons of like marriage. She like marriage or Michael. She's like, well, who you married to? You married to Michael. So Jasmina pretty much puts out there what we've already known and what she did at the last dinner. She's saying like it's been a month already, but she hasn't felt that spark or that attraction to Michael. But as far as a pro, she feels Michael has really stepped up in communication and they have fun. But it's really like coming off like a friendship. And her mother's letting her know like, well, we do know you, so you not being attracted to Michael is definitely like going to be a deal breaker. So that's like really concerning. And we see Michael and Jasmine back at the house, and he is doing it first because he's really stepping up and doing the effort. So he's preparing to cook for Jasmina for the first time in whatever 45 days that they've been together. And I was surprised to hear that Jasmina has been cooking for Michael. We haven't seen one meal. I've only seen takeout, and I would like to really see, can she cook, or is he enjoying it, or is he appreciative? They should show that. And Michael, he's making like looks like a jailhouse lasagna burrito kind of situation going on. And he actually put it in two pans. And like one pan was so big, he maybe used a quarter of the pan. And I just thought that was like a weird way to cook. It was like a cute little thing, like where couples get together and make dinner together, and they were just having fun and talking. And Michael really started to open up and saying, like, I don't know if he was saying it just to win points or he really meant it. He was just saying more so he was doing a finger pointing thing of like, oh, Jasmine ain't ready to open up to me, or she don't like me, or this ain't gonna work. Instead of looking at what he could be doing, because Michael felt like he really could have given more effort in the beginning. And Jasmina seems to appreciate that, but she didn't really say nothing. But that's how it kind of goes. Michael gets vulnerable, open up, trying to win her over, but I don't really think that I don't really think he has a chance. So the food gets ready, and he feeds Jasmina, and she eats it, and they doing a little dance in the kitchen. It's like it's a cute little thing. They having fun. We like to see them to have fun and be lighthearted instead of arguing or going back and forth. And she's saying like, well, she can complain about something, so she say the lasagna is a little salty, but it's good. And he like, oh yeah, you gonna eat it? And they still dancing. So little Michael try to get something, and he makes a huge mistake. He hasn't learned yet. Like, it's something about temperature. Men and women are real different. When I say like a woman can take a scorching hot shower and it feels normal to her skin, maybe the historically health pattern of anemia. Women can take hot water to their skin. Men can't. It'll feel like it's burning them if they get in the same water. Jasmina took the fork of hot lasagna out the oven like a champ. When Michael put it, his eyes lit up. He went to the wall. I don't know if he spit it out or what, but you can't make that mistake. Michael probably don't got no more skin on his tongue falling after Jasmina eating a hot lasagna, jailhouse lasagna roll. But that was about it. And they end on a good note. And so hopefully they can keep it going. However, we got some underlying problems that we know are going to resurface, because almost time to do decision day and Jasmine is not feeling that spark for Michael. I don't know how you're going to get that in 21 days. That makes sense. So pretty much that was it for this segment. Um, Again, another couple who ended on a good note. So we're going to wait to see what happens next week. And as I say, I appreciate y'all continue to rock with me. Um, get down in those comments. Tell me what you think about Mike and Jasmine. I might not be right. Are they going to make it? Are they going to make a U-turn and fool all of us? I don't know. But as I said, drop down in the comments and let me know. And I appreciate y'all continue to rock with me. As I always tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.